Greetings from home, dear ones. It is such a joy to be with you all. There is a large family that has gathered over and over again here on planet Earth. The family of light, you can call it a number of different things. You have a lot of different words for it. We call it the family of E. We call it light workers. We call it a lot of you, because you have come in this time with the highest intent of bringing the collective to the highest level possible. And that is very beautiful and very difficult. But we wish to speak with you today about what is ahead and specifically what each of you can do, how you can take a part of what is happening here and what is taking place in the world around you to make space for the new empowered human. Because that is truly what's going on. There is a lot of adjustments going on planet Earth and itself, the planet. We've spoken of this, we've spoken of the tension of the tectonic plates, how humans are picking up on it all the time, overreacting, how you have come in and now started to balance the masculine and the feminine. Very difficult balance because you have seen things as polarity, as opposites the whole time. So to suddenly start seeing everything as connected and whole is very difficult for humans. But you're aware that you're there. And furthermore, you have on planet Earth at this time some of the most important people that can help to ground the new thought in the new energy. And that's what you are. You have come in with this idea, with holding a truth that is sometimes against even what your parents taught, against what you have learned in other areas, but is one of the more freeing parts of who you are and the new humanity that is available on planet Earth. We're very excited to share this with you today. For we tell you, dear ones, the universe moves very fast and very slow, depending on your relationship to it, depending on your size. And in some ways, we tell you, it has moved very slow during the last 15 years. About 11 years ago, dear ones, we told you that there was an in and out breath of God, that there literally was a pulsing of the universe in a very beautiful way. And the last time that this changed in these ways, that it shifted from one to the other, your universe was born. We tell you this was very interesting because you have so many concepts of how you can see into the night sky, how far you can reach back, what you can understand. But we tell you it's happening now. That is the beautiful part of this. There is a change of direction which has been going on, and over the last 4 years in particular have been incredibly dense on planet Earth. And many of you have wrestled with this. Many of you have felt the changes, positioned yourselves in new ways. Many of you have cleared the decks, some of you by going through phantom deaths of your own, by daring to pass the door that you had created for yourself to go home. Many of you came in with heightened sensitivities, with the abilities to see and feel things from others very quickly. This is what made you healers. This is what gave you the gift of being able to connect to each other. And now we tell you there are advances in humanity in general, and even your physical body is changing to accommodate it. One of the things that we have been speaking about is your vagus nerve. That is the nerve that basically makes you feel everything. Have you ever had a gut reaction to something? Have you ever had an energy where your heart started racing for no apparent reason? That is all having to do with your vagus nerve and having to do with the evolution of that nerve. Well, rather than talk about the vagus nerve particularly this day, we wish to share with you the larger reason why it is happening. You are removing many of the boundaries which have made you separate from each other. And that's what is taking place in this outbreath of God. That's what is taking place right now on planet Earth. Not all, but many of the challenges that you see in your world are caused by this, or are reactions to this. We tell you that you are coming in this new energy with a balanced masculine-feminine energy. But because of being in a field of polarity where you saw things as opposites for so incredibly long, and learning that there are many who are heavily invested in one or the other, but not both together. That is much of what you are seeing as a reaction on planet Earth, is the masculine energy, those who are very invested in the masculine dominance of planet Earth are overreacting at this time. Now, your tendency will be to polarize everything, to say, oh, that is them, not us. We are different. That is only this segment of people. But they are people. They are part of your experience. They are part of you. And that's what we ask you all to do. To start seeing the larger picture of how you can connect, what you have in common, how you are alike instead of how you are different. It is a little bit against your nature, because you've come in with this separation anxiety, with this whole idea of pretending to be separate from each other while you experience humanity, while you experience yourselves. Well, that is time to change, dear ones, and that is what is happening. But it's even on a larger basis. Because we tell you, dear ones, there is an energy change coming. It will take some time to adjust to it, and we have mentioned this before so that humans can start preparing for it. We would love to tell you that on a specific date the energy will change and everyone will feel better. We wish we could tell you that. What we will give you is the rough estimate of the date. It has to do with the evolution of humanity, not a specific alignment or a date. So it is not something in the skies where everything is going to line up and Earth is going to move into a new plane. That has already happened. Now what is taking place is that all of humanity can shift. And this is happening in late March of next year. Now, in preparation for this new energy, many of you are re-evaluating everything in your lives. And this is truly as it should be. But let us explain why this is taking place and what is happening as a result of it. Because really what is taking place is that all the opportunities that you set up before you came in here to go home, many of you came in with incredibly sensitive vagus nerves to begin with so that you could do your healing work. And you find yourselves overwhelmed with it at times, tapping in and carrying everybody else's energy, even though it was not your responsibility to do so. But because of that, because of coming in with this heightened sensitivity, many of you have placed doors home. These we call phantom deaths. This is the opportunity for you to get out of the body and return home. And you have set up circumstances, opportunities, sometimes planted seeds of ill health in your own being so that you could accomplish this process. Now, many of you being healers that we are speaking to have the understanding that healing or sickness is wrong. It is not, dear ones. Many times it is one of the only ways to release your spirit from that body. You all thought about this at great length before you came in. So what is happening between now and the end of March is that all of humans, everywhere, will have the opportunity to reset their own opportunities to go home. If many of you are tired, if you are frustrated, if you feel you have done all that you can do, you will be presented with the opportunities to leave. But you are on the free choice planet. You are on the only planet at this point of free choice, with the exception of the second, which is now in motion. But the beautiful part about that is you can change all of this. And if you wish to stay, you may reset your energy at this time. Now let us explain what that is like and what this is going to accomplish, not only for you, but for your spirit. Your spirit carries a certain amount of energy, a certain amount of light that you have been able to hold within your physical dense bodies. That is starting to change. There are even photons growing inside your body at this time. Your sciences will find out more of that. Your molecular and microbiologists will start to understand even more about the photonics of the physical body and how this can start to grow. And we tell you it will change everything in your life. But many of you are tired, and many of you know friends who will be leaving. That is as it should be. Do not consider death in any of its forms to be wrong. It is to be celebrated, dear ones, for it is a returning home of a spirit. And we tell you, all of you have done such incredible work. Many of you have planned early exits. You came in with such sensitivity that you planned opportunities to get out of there as quickly as possible. Well, now you have that opportunity between now and the end of March to reset that energy, remake new contracts, set things into motion. And this has not been the norm, because ever since stepping into this new energy, ever since the Earth moved into this new plane of light, the highly charged photonic particles that are now hitting Earth every single day, this is offering a new experience of planet Earth. And some of you will feel like leaving. You have permission to do so, dear ones. No one is telling you you are not done or you must stay. But if you choose to, here's what will take place. At some point over the next few months, you will go through a process of a phantom death. Some of you will have your heart stop on the operating table, and it will be very obvious that it is truly a phantom death. Others of you are on the direct path. Your spirit is saying, go forward, step forward. And when you come to these opportunities to go home, they will pass very quickly. For some of you, it might just be a close call in traffic, where all of a sudden you realized, I could have died just then, but let me continue my path, and you just keep going forward. But you'll know, these are to be celebrated, dear ones, not to be feared. You set these up at the beginning, before your incarnation in this lifetime began. This was part of the contractual arrangements that you made with planet Earth and with your whole idea of being here, pretending to be a human. Now, the reason we are bringing this up is because most of you, the majority of you, will choose to stay. And it is not right or wrong, whatever your choice is. You are on the planet of free choice. And you are honored, and we tell you that if you come home tomorrow, you will be celebrated. It doesn't make any difference how long you stay, dear ones. That is up to you. But many of you are getting excited at the new possibilities, at the possibilities of carrying more light in your own body, of carrying more of your spirit in your own body, of returning to light body, and being able to do that while you are still incarnate without having to start the earth over again. So what takes place here? when you go through these phantom deaths, whether they are something severe or even if it is a momentary close call in traffic, we tell you your life will reset. And when that happens, you will look back at your life and you'll try to determine the path, and you'll start to remember everything about it. You'll start to go through old memories, pull up old ideas, pull out your old photography books and look through each part of your life to revisit it the same way that you would do if you cross over and go home. Except you won't have the photography books at home. That's the biggest difference. But that is exactly what you do when you go home, is to reassess your entire experience and remember every part of this. And you'll decide when you go home which parts you are complete with and which parts you wish to come back in with, or if you are complete altogether. It's entirely up to you. There is no one who judges you. You are on the free choice planet, which is an emulation of home. So you will decide that. But we ask you to do the same here. For those of you who stay, do exactly the same. Re-look at everything in your life, every relationship, every job you have taken, your purpose for being here, your passions, whatever they are. These are the times to re-anchor on planet Earth. And if you wish to go, you will be celebrated. And you will also find it much easier than you thought. The reality is the transition home is only difficult if you do not know what to expect. Once you're aware of the transitions, it becomes a joyous ride, an energy travel from one dimension into the next. Most of the challenges of people transitioning from one area to the other are simply because people go into fear. What happens when a creator being goes into fear? They create their greatest fears. And that loop takes some time to get rid of. For those of you who are familiar with it, you pass very easily, very comfortably. You move forward very quickly. And you return home and you acclimate to home. And for those of you who are staying, dare to allow yourself to experience it. Dare to allow yourself some alone time, because you will need it, each of you. You will need to reassess your own being on planet Earth, and to understand why you came in the first place, and if that purpose is still valid, and if you wish to realign your purpose for being here. At the same time, you have the opportunities to revisit every part of your existence. How you have interacted, how you have done it before, the relationships that you have made, all of these will come under scrutiny at this point. And we tell you it's not right or wrong. Some of you say, well, I can see how I would have a relationship with my lover or my husband or my wife. But what about children? How will my relationships with children change? It's very simply. You are moving into an empowered society, and everything must change, including your relationships with your children, the long-term commitments that many of you have made. But these are exciting times, dear ones, because their relationship to planet Earth is changing as well. You're starting to grasp the higher truths of your human experience. It is a remembering in many areas, because your spirit is not of the density. Your spirit is truly you. That is the core personality that you carried in for eons of time, and not just on planet Earth. Now you have decided to make this transition consciously. Instead of wiping out planet Earth, wiping out humanity, and starting over again, you literally are changing this day to day, and we are so excited to watch it. We can see the challenges that you go through. We can see the times when you feel lost. but we also see who you really are. And we love you more than you know. You have already changed all that is. And now you have the opportunities to reset your energy and to set things into motion here so that you can step forward as a newly empowered human, carrying much more of your own light and being able to grow in that direction. Right now, dear ones, if someone were to step fully into light body and step into the world, we tell you it would be very challenging because the collective vibration of humanity still does not support it. You would find that light body would have huge sensitivities. It's the reason you have so many allergies and other challenges of this nature, is that literally it's not changing. The world is not changing that much. Yes, you do have your pollution ever since you've been burning the fossil fuels, ever since your industrial revolution. But you also have that ability to change that as well. But that is not what has given you these sensitivities. The physical body is changing. The physical body is coming in with a sensitivity level that you never knew. You currently have about 20% of your planet which is now allergic to gluten. Something you should all be very easily adapted to. But as you incorporate more light into the body, some of these things will have to change. And currently, your growers are starting to change their thinking of this. Your grocery stores have already adapted somewhat to the new needs of humanity. More will be coming, and you'll find pretty rapid changes going on during these times. But this is a time of reset. This is the grand reset of humanity. The change of the in-breath and the out-breath is taking place. And although we first mentioned it some 11 years ago, it is in truth what is facing every human on planet Earth right now. Now with it, you have the opportunities, and you may go if you choose. No one is holding you here. If you decide to stay, you will reevaluate everything, and feel free to do so. You are relieved of your contracts, even though most of you do not know it. You are resetting new contracts and dare to create conscious contracts on your planet. When you meet someone, dear ones, and you have set up a contract from the other side of the veil, there's a natural pull to come into that contract in some way. Most of those have been released. Now that is very frustrating for some of you because you're looking for your mate or your match who you had contracts with. But we tell you many of them will still be choosable. They simply won't have quite the same pull that they had before. And those of karmic contracts, things that you had to settle, have been completely released as far as the magnetism. It does not mean that when you come in contact with someone that you may not feel a karmic bond of some sort, and you may even wish to clear it. That is up to you. Does it need to be done for you to be successful on Earth? Dear ones, you've already been successful on Earth. That is what we are here to share with you. You have won the game, and now you're building a whole new one. And we are incredibly excited of it, because this one will be in much more harmony with home, with where you are from. It gives you capabilities of holding more of your creative abilities than ever before. And we tell you the movement back into light body for all of humanity can be very difficult for some. Help the others, dear ones. That is why you came. That is why many of you are here right now, to be of service in this grand transition, in the grand reset of humanity. We watch from above. We actually don't be above. We think it's fascinating that you think we are up. Heaven is not up, dear ones. It's everywhere. You get that when you are children, and you are very young and awakening inside of a physical body. Most of the time you are lying down on your back, or you're being held by a parent looking up. And you gain from that all goodness comes from above. You are such wonderful beings. We cannot wait to see what this new game grows into. We are directly behind you all the way, trying to open the doors easily for you, trying to make your life a little more comfortable. You do not need to struggle the way you did in the old energy. The path of least resistance will appear very quickly. Allow it to be. Let go of those things that you are holding on to for the sake of holding on, and allow yourself to be reset and repositioned. This is the new world, and you are very much a part of it. It is with the greatest of honor that we ask you to treat each other with respect. Nurture one another every way that you can. It is why you came. Know that it's a brand new game that you are playing, dear ones. Play well together. Aspavo.
Aspavo. Oh, we'll have to give Steve a few minutes after that beautiful message. The group grabbed him tight. I can tell that. The energy is beautiful in this room. Yeah, the message from the group meant a lot to me as well.